start just because we said 4 o'clock and there's several people that showed up. And I thank you all and welcome you all to the Creation Health Seminar. We are on our 4th letter today. And I know there's one new person. Christine brought a friend, probably her best friend. And the word creation is an acronym that stands for, C stands for choice, R stands for rest, E stands for environment, A stands for activity, T stands for trust, I stands for interpersonal relationships, and O stands for outlook, and N stands for nutrition. And today we'll be having Karen Sinnett here present on activity. Creation, again, this is a faith-based wellness program that addresses the whole person in every aspect of our lives, mental, physical, spiritual. And while you can address one thing and thrive in life, without the rest of them, they all work together and interact with each other. So it's good to be able to practice all the principles together. If you are new here, the bathrooms are out in the hallway there, right outside this door to the left. And I have some thoughts before I hand the program over to Karen. And I think it's going to be a very exciting program today. Mahatma Gandhi said, "It is health that is real wealth and not pieces of gold and silver." And then an old German proverb, "Health dwells with the peasant." That's an interesting one. Health dwells with the peasant. A calm and undisturbed mind and heart are the life and health of the body. But envy, jealousy, and wrath are like rottenness of the bones. And that is in Proverbs 14:30 from the Bible. So also we have some water and hot tea in the back at any time if you'd like to help yourself. And I will hand the program over to Karen. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm going to start our activity program tonight starting with nutrition. You can't do an activity without having the proper nutrition. You need the extra protein and to be able to do your activities. So tonight I'm going to actually do a protein smoothie for you. Then you'll get a sample of it a little bit later. First, frozen bananas. They say just an hour in the freezer. Break them up. Put them in your mixer. Orange juice. I have the recipe here also that we'll be passing out also. There's all kinds of different kinds of smoothies. You just have to find what works for you. I like to put chia in mine. It's wonderful for lots of fiber, and it also has a large amount of omega-3s, calcium, which are all things that are going to give you more energy, good for your cardiovascular health. Chia. No, this is chia. This is yogurt. Also, this is going to be, so you add just a plain Greek yogurt, no flavor, avocado, which is very good for you, good fats. Very simple to do smoothies. They takes just a matter of moments. This is going to take a little longer because it's absolutely huge compared to what I would normally make. And then a little bit of vanilla, unsweetened almond milk. John, if you could just... I'm not going to put the chia in because it actually is better if it sits for a little while. Okay. Excuse me. Of course, it's not going to work. All right. So, yes. All right. Well, I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get started with the program. We're just going to go ahead and start out with the video on the DVD. I think the blender mix has to be. So we'll go ahead and start with this. If you want to take it to the other room and do it.
Pop it, put it back in again.
Electronic.
We were created to move, and when we do, it's a remarkable thing because we are powerful, beautiful, and graceful, for we are gracefully and wonderfully made. But physical activity isn't just for the pros, it's for all of us. It's for anyone who wants to feel fully alive and thoroughly happy. Activity is the rhythm of life. Activity is the fountain of youth. And exercising our bodies and minds slows the effects of aging and keeps us young at heart, unlocking life's greatest pleasures. During this Creation Health presentation on activity, we'll hear about the physical and mental benefits of activity. You'll learn how you can have more energy and less stress. Do you want to feel more fully alive? Then let's join Dr. George Guthrie as he reveals some easy ways for us to work our bodies and minds so we can enjoy lifelong health and happiness.
Movement is life. As Kenneth Cooper likes to say, it's easier to maintain your health than regain it. He's absolutely right. Activity activates growth processes in our body and mind that keep us young mentally and physically. The good news is that recent research suggests we don't have to spend countless hours in the gym to become healthy and fit. And some of the most exciting studies deal with the effect of activity on the brain. The bottom line is that if you want to be dynamic, have more energy, and feel more alive, then you have to start moving because motion has life-sustaining benefits. Let's continue this Creation Health presentation on activity by looking at some landmark research involving the mind. The adult brain can actually grow in response to regular demands placed on it. Until recently, we thought this impossible. As it turns out, exercising the mind is much like exercising the body. Just as physical activity keeps our bodies fit, mental activity keeps our brains fit. In fact, mental activity actually changes the brain's structure. In one study, the hippocampal area in the brains of London taxi drivers was measured with an MRI. The hippocampus is the part of the brain involved with memory. The results showed that persons with intensive spatial training, such as taxi drivers, had more hippocampal gray matter than other normal people. This part of the brain was enlarged in the taxi drivers because they used it extensively every day. Mental activity optimizes brain performance. But the opposite is also true. Unused brain cells die. Use it or lose it seems to be one of life's immutable laws. So what's our takeaway from all of this? It's important to regularly exercise our brain in order to build a better, stronger mind. Brain-building exercises include doing puzzles, learning new languages, increasing your vocabulary, and even practicing a task with your non-dominant hand. Learning any new physical skill such as snowboarding, snorkeling, or even driving a car with the stick shift also exercises brain cells. One of my favorite ways to keep my mind fit and growing is to read the Bible. I'm not talking about just reading the words, I'm talking about reading to understand and apply what's being taught, to wrestle with the divinely inspired truth to see how it applies to my life today. Take time to memorize a Bible text every now and then. Reading the Bible and memorizing scriptures are some of the best brain-building exercises. In order to keep our brains active, it's important that it gets the right fuel at the right time. You may think we're getting a little off track here as we talk about how certain nutrients affect our brains, but bear with me. The key role nutrition plays is a vital part of our discussion on activity and is worth reviewing here. For effective mental activity, your brain needs a steady supply of glucose, its primary fuel source. The best way to get this is to start each day with a healthy breakfast. It is important for learning, memory, and physical well-being in children and adults. Scientists have discovered that breakfast eaters demonstrate more efficient problem solving, have increased verbal fluency, have an improved attention span, and school children who eat breakfast showed better attitudes and grades. The best breakfast is one that has foods with a low glycemic index. If that's a new term for you, the glycemic index is a measure of just how quickly carbohydrates are absorbed into our body and converted to blood sugar. Scientists measure how fast and high 100 grams of plain sugar or 100 grams of plain white bread raise the blood sugar in the body. These foods are used as a standard and represent 100%. Other foods are then compared to the standard and given a percentage rating. Broccoli or spinach would have a low glycemic index rating, while soda, French fries, or ice cream would have higher ratings. In general, we can say that the lower the glycemic index, the better a food is for our bodies and our brains. It is better when energy comes into our body slowly, over time, rather than rushing in like a tidal wave. It's much easier to handle, and it's healthier too. Let's get back to the breakfast experience. Even though bowls of oatmeal and sugary cereals have a similar number of carbohydrates, they have different glycemic index measures. The sugary cereal gets into your body quickly, peaking sugar levels, and then drops dramatically after about 2 hours. This releases hormones that negatively affect your mood, concentration, and memory, as well as making it easier to gain weight. Oatmeal, however, is absorbed more slowly, giving you a slow rise in blood sugar. That provides steady fuel until lunchtime. In a scientific study done in 2006, looking at students who ate sweetened oatmeal compared with those who ate high sugar cereal, the oatmeal eaters performed 20% better in school. It is important to note that both cereals had the same sugar content, but oatmeal had more fiber and protein, giving it a lower glycemic index. Similar studies have demonstrated that people who eat a low glycemic breakfast of oatmeal actually choose to eat about 30% fewer calories throughout the rest of the day. This makes it easier to keep a person's weight where it should be. So get healthier by simply beginning the day with breakfast, preferably one with a low glycemic index. When choosing your food, remember this basic principle. The closer our food is to the way God made it, the healthier it will be. We've talked about optimizing our brain through mental activity and fueling it regularly with a steady stream of energy. But your brain needs more to function optimally. It requires large amounts of oxygen. Physical activity provides the brain with extra oxygen. It shouldn't surprise you to learn that older individuals who exercised scored higher on intelligence tests than more sedentary people of the same age. And they were able to complete the tasks faster too. In another study, we discovered that after exercising, elderly subjects had a greater improvement in 6 of 8 measures of cognitive or brain functioning. Research shows children who take time for daily physical activity perform better in reading, language, and on test taking. Physically active college students also score better on tests and exhibit better short-term memory than inactive students. When you exercise your body, you're not just helping your heart, lungs, and muscles, you're helping your brain too. Let's summarize what we've learned about the mind. The brain grows in response to regular mental activities. We fuel our brains with glucose starting each day with a low glycemic breakfast. And then we flood our brains with oxygen through a variety of physical activities. Altogether, these things will optimize your brain performance, quickly improving your mood, emotions, and body. It all adds up to a big boost for your health. We've explored building a stronger mind. Now let's talk about building a stronger body. What do you picture when you hear the term strength training? Bulky muscles, countless hours in the gym, diet shakes, expensive supplements. You don't have to go to a gym to enjoy the benefits of strength training. By committing only minutes a week, you can have many of the benefits. You probably already know that strength training reduces symptoms associated with diabetes, arthritis, osteoporosis, and even depression. Science is finding more and more evidence each year proving that strength training is vital to a longer, healthier life. Some researchers say strength training is the best anti-aging strategy we have. Consider this research by Miriam Nelson. The results were published in the Journal of the American Medical Association. After strength training twice weekly for a year, women's bodies were physically 15 to 20 years more youthful. In this study, they didn't use drugs. Women regained bone. They became stronger, in most cases, even stronger than when they were younger. And their flexibility and balance improved. Get this, without changing what they ate, they became leaner and trimmer and 27% more active. These benefits apply to men as well. You have significant control over your health. You have the power to improve it. Here's something to think about. It is estimated that 1/3 of the heart attacks among middle-aged women in the United States are attributed to physical inactivity. Think of it this way. Picture a row of dominoes set up on end. The first domino is muscle mass, which is closely linked to strength training. A loss of muscle mass starts with the fall of the first domino. What follows is system-wide failure, the domino effect. But then consider this. If you start incorporating strength training into your life only twice a week, guess what happens? You can reverse the domino effect. When the first domino stands up strong, the others rise to join it. That's how much power you have. Do 8 to 10 slow, dynamic strength training exercises involving each of your major muscle groups. You don't need very heavy weights. Often, 1 or 2 pounds is enough when starting. Use enough of resistance to slowly do 8 to 12 repetitions to near fatigue. That is, just a little bit of burn on just the last repetition. You actually get more benefit from slowly lowering the weight than from the lifting. If the muscle burns earlier, you're using too much weight. If you're older and more frail, do 10 to 15 repetitions with less weight. After a couple of weeks, you will find it gets easier and you'll want to increase the weights slightly. Do a minimum of 1 set for each muscle group. 2 sets are better. Do this at least twice a week. You could get help from a personal trainer or visit the website of the American College of Sports Medicine, or purchase a copy of Miriam Nelson's book, Strong Women Stay Young. It's easy to do these strength training exercises at home. To reverse the aging process, to feel younger and to be more energetic and healthy, start now. Make a decision to get started. Accept no excuses. Just do it. Why? It's estimated 250,000 deaths a year in the United States are attributed to a lack of regular physical activity. That's roughly the same number of people that live in the city of Birmingham, Alabama. To put it another way, if people simply started exercising, 250,000 lives could be saved each year. There's another type of exercise that's critical to good health as well, cardiovascular exercise. While strength training focuses on making muscles stronger, cardiovascular exercise focuses on strengthening the system that delivers energy and oxygen to the muscles. This occurs when a person exercises enough to make the heart, lungs, and blood vessels stretch to supply enough oxygen to keep the muscles going. This means that the breathing is deeper and more rapid, that the heart rate goes up, and the blood vessels open up to let more blood through to the muscles. Cardiovascular exercise protects against the debilitating diseases of coronary heart disease and cancer. It decreases inflammation in the body, and just like muscle strengthening exercise, improves insulin sensitivity, helping to avoid diabetes. Many people think they have to spend hours running, walking, or jogging to be healthy. But it's not true. In 2007, the American College of Sports Medicine and the Centers for Disease Control jointly issued national guidelines for physical activity, stating that adults should accumulate 30 minutes or more of moderate intensity physical activity daily. Let's focus on 2 important terms from that sentence. Number 1, accumulate. This means you can break up your activity into 3 10-minute segments or into 2 15-minute sessions, if it works better for you. When researchers evaluated 2 groups of people, one group exercising continuously for 30 minutes and the other exercising 3 separate times, 10 minutes each, they found that the multiple short bouts of exercise produced the same improvement in fitness level. The second term is moderate intensity. Moderate intensity is exercising at a level that burns about 200 calories a day, or is equivalent to walking a mile in about 20 minutes. That's not too fast. Another way to measure this is with the talk test. Here's how that works. If you're walking and you have to take a breath 2 or 3 times in the middle of a sentence, then you're going at about the right intensity. A person could easily experience the protective benefits of physical activity by walking 15 minutes each morning and evening. Isn't it good to discover that any regular, moderate exercise is going to be beneficial? Start today accumulating 30 minutes of moderate activity. This might be a mix of several things: a 10-minute walk, mowing the lawn, washing the car, or even playing with your children. These little lifestyle changes help to keep us young in body and mind and help to reverse the domino effect of aging. Each of us chooses our own lifestyle. Not deciding is deciding. I suggest that you choose what makes you fully alive and keeps you active, both physically and mentally.
So there we have it. There's no magic pill or special secret. According to Dr. Kenneth Cooper, we do not stop exercising because we grow old. We grow old because we stop exercising. You can reverse the aging process and have a younger and healthier body. Start with these 3 steps. Strength train twice a week, accumulate 30 minutes of moderate physical exercise each day, and exercise your brain. Follow this plan, you'll look younger, feel better, and have more energy. But most of all, you'll enjoy living and have more time with the ones you love. That's Creation Health.
The bottom line is that we need to start moving. In order for us to remain independent, have fewer limitations as we grow old, it's essential to maintain our muscles. It's essential and do good strength training. If you're not used to doing any kind of strength training, it's really a good idea to, 1, talk to your doctor, make sure that it's okay for you to do it, and also maybe hire an athletic trainer, someone who's going to help you find the right exercises for you so that you don't hurt yourself in the meantime. For long-term success, you must choose activities that it's going to stick with. You know, is it something that you enjoy? Find a partner, coworker, a friend, your spouse, and just get out there, go for a walk. Make plans for your activity. You can't just expect it to be there. You have to actually sometimes think about it. What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? And hold each other accountable. You need to add variety and keep record of it so you can see how your progress changes. Be persistent. Don't give up. If you've had a really bad day or a really bad week, just start over the next day. Start over the next week. You're only going to fail if you don't keep trying. Know the importance of benefits of physical activity should get you moving. But first begin with some guidelines to help you get better health. If you have a heart condition or other serious health problems, talk to your physician again. If you're in good health and are accustomed to physical activity, begin with moderate activity, such as walking, and progress slowly as your body adjusts. These are some principles for enjoyment, such as finding an exercise routine, schedule your exercise time. A good exercise buddy is very helpful. That accountability is huge. Also, variety is very helpful. Make sure that you're warming up and cooling down. Warming up and cooling down is an important part of your physical activity. It should typically take about 3 to 5 minutes. The benefits of a proper warm-up include the following. It gets the blood to the muscles and all the nutrients and oxygen. It literally warms up the muscles, therefore it decreases the chances of getting injured. And it also permits gradual changes, which in turn results in increased performance. At the end of your workout, it is important to cool down because this slowly decreases your heart rate and brings your body back to its normal state. It helps to work out the byproducts that your body, that causes really sore muscles. Also, it reduces the tendency for immediate post-exercise muscle spasms or cramping. Cooling down prevents the blood from pooling in the extremities and blood pressure from dropping really rapidly. Therefore, it reduces the likelihood that you're going to feel lightheaded or fainting. Always warm up before stretching, because this increases the safety and effectiveness of the stretching session. Stretch after you've finished exercising when the body is fully warmed and flexible because that's when you're going to have less injury. The only exception is if you're going to do some really intense exercise and you really need to stretch prior to that, such as with sprinting. In this situation, it's best that you have a good long warm-up that includes stretching prior to it. Keep the progression principle in mind when exercising. Start with moderate activity at easier levels, then gradually increase your levels. This helps with exercise tolerance. If you're not used to physical activity, start with just 10 to 15-minute walks. Slowly increase your time and activity intensity as your fitness level increases. If unable to perform 30 minutes all at once, do 10-minute, 15-minute, whatever you have time for. Try and do it twice a day if you can, in the smaller ones. For higher levels of fitness, increase your intensity and time spent exercising. If you have any heart or other serious health problems, however, of course, talk to your doctor. Let's close the presentation here today by understanding how activity impacts all the components of health. Choice, the first. Exercise decreases stress and clears the brain, which improves decision making. It also circulates the nutrients and oxygen in the brain, which helps make positive choices. Exercise helps you sleep better at night. It also helps you relax too. Environment, physical activity gives you a perfect opportunity to get out and enjoy the blessings of nature, such as the sunshine, fresh air, and the beauty of the natural world. Trust. During physical activity, it's the perfect time to connect with God through prayer, meditation, and allowing Him to speak to you, especially if you're outside in nature. Interpersonal relationships. Participating in physical activity with someone else is a good way to nurture relationships. Outlook. Physical activity helps us to de-stress, which enables us to have more positive outlook on nutrition. Activity helps us to focus on the quality and quantity of fuel we're putting into our bodies so we can keep ourselves and our minds function at an optimal level. Why? 70% of the population is physically inactive. Stroke, high blood pressure, and diabetes are linked to this lack of exercise. Benefits include improved body composition, improves physical appearance, improved stamina, strength, flexibility, power, speed. These are all improvements of your physical fitness. Coordination, agility, balance, accuracy. It decreases your cholesterol, it increases your bone density, it improves your insulin uptake, it decreases your pulse and blood pressure, and it improves your sleep. It also improves your psychological health, improves your self-esteem and your self-confidence. Research, just 30 minutes of walking 3 times per week significantly reduces your risk for coronary artery disease and cancer. All right, how? Get started. Remember, just small changes that can produce large results. Park as far away you can from your place of employment. When you go shopping, park on the other side of the parking lot at Walmart. Use stairs instead of an elevator. Take an evening stroll with a friend or a loved one. And our aim is 30 to 60 minutes of moderate exercise 4 to 6 days per week. Enjoy physical activity to begin living your life to the fullest today. Now, we had nutrition prior to, didn't work out real well, but it's going to work better this time. So I'm actually going to show you how to make it's another type of smoothie, but it's actually an electrolyte replacement drink for after your activity. You just exercise, so now we're going to replace it with an electrolyte. So, excellent form of electrolyte replacement is coconut water. It's full of electrolytes. Thank you, John. So, I'm going to have the recipes actually for both of them. How was the first one? This one is actually a cherry coconut smoothie. It's made with your organic dark sweet cherries. Frozen is best. And it's very simple. It actually only includes three ingredients. Coconut water, and not milk. The coconut water, the milk is actually where they have actually done more squeezing of the coconut and pulling out the milk, where this is actually the water that comes from the coconut. It's full of electrolytes. And squeeze some lime. Take just the juice from the lime. You have to do a whole lime and a half. Green, a lime. Now, looks like I forgot my stevia. I actually think it tastes a little bit better if you put just a little bit of stevia in there, because it adds a little bit of sweetness. John, give this a try this time. All right.
At work we call this the demo syndrome.
Okay. I think it's... Exactly, and I use this every day.
Okay, I'll go use my magic somewhere else.
I think it's the outlet, personally. So, he's going to do that. All right. I didn't remember my stevia. Coconut water has a pretty strong flavor to it. It's, you know what coconut tastes like? It tastes just like that. And actually, it's just a little bit, I think, stronger than like the flakes are. But very good. You don't, usually a recipe is going to call for just, 2 cups of cherries and a half a cup of the coconut water and half of a lime. And so, actually it's 1 whole lime for a regular recipe, which actually makes a very large content. Really, it should be for 2 people because it's quite a bit. So, what we'll do then, I'm going to have somebody pass these out. Water. We'll add some water. It's too thick. There you go. I have 3 recipes, actually. Pat's passing out one for the... I got 2 here, right? Yes, there's 2 here. There's a 3rd recipe in the back. I made some protein bars, or they're protein balls, actually. They're really good if you're exercising, competing, or you can use those protein balls for quick energy. They're actually made with peanut butter, oatmeal, or peanut butter or almond butter, any kind of butter that you want. You need to use the natural though, of course. And then you want to, you can add anything you want. I added oatmeal, flaxseed, peanut butter, and almonds. I crushed up almonds to place in it. And then you roll them into balls. They actually are wonderful if you freeze them, refrigerate them. Great for quick energy. They're in the back. They're the ones that are round. Dale also made another snack, vegan cake. All right. And so you'll be able to go ahead and help yourself to that. Daryl will bring in, Lasong, if you want to go ahead and take over, that would be great.
Okay, thank you, Karen. Well, we learned a ton of information, so I think the key is to start slow. The key is to start slow. And let me see, I have some questions for you. Here, we have one new person in here, I think. And I'm going to put you on the spot. Is that all right? Okay, I have a true or false question. The brain needs large amounts of caffeine. True or false? It was in the DVD. I think it's a trick question for some of us. Yep. So what would you say then, true or false? Oh, large amounts of caffeine in the brain. Okay, thank you, Christine. Yes, with a little help from your friend. Yes, in the DVD earlier it says we need large amounts of oxygen, which is where the exercise comes in and gets the oxygen to our brain. So, you win a prize. All right, also in the DVD, it gave a number, and it also gave a city that had that same number for the population. For the number of deaths from lack of physical activity, does anybody remember that number? Or remember the city? Huh?
250.
Francis, yes. Francis. No, you'll like it. You picked the xylitol, the gum. Okay. All right, and it said, it gave a cumulative number of minutes that you should try to get of moderate intensity daily activity. How many minutes was that? I hope I heard that correctly. Does anybody remember how many minutes of cumulative moderate intensity activity per day is good? 30, who said first? Bob, thank you. Yep. And the last question is also from the DVD. True or false? We grow old. I'm sorry. We stop exercising because we grow old. True or false? False. It is the exact opposite. We grow old because we stop being active, physically active. Well, thank you very much for your participation. Thank you, Karen, for it was very exciting. We have a lot of the, what did you call those, protein cookies? Protein balls. Protein balls. And then we have the vegan cake, which looks really naughty, but it's very healthy. It's very good, I trust. This is from a trusted source, Dr. Sinnett. So it is healthy. And please stick around. Karen will be here to answer some questions if you had any questions about what she talked about. And otherwise, please feel free to stick around and have some refreshments. And next week, don't forget to come. We are on letter T, and we have a guest speaker coming from Fall River. And she'll be telling us about trust. Same time next week, same place, 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock here. So thank you for coming. Oh, and yes, Dale, would you mind if we all had a closing prayer? Dale will give us the prayer.
Father in heaven, we thank you so much for the blessings you give to us. We thank you for health. We thank you for the ability to exercise. We pray that we might not only exercise our bodies, but our minds. Help us to stay in touch with you. Thank you for this time together, and bless us as we go our ways. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Okay.